So I share all of that to put things in perspective, because who do you feel like maybe God's putting on your heart right now as I share this to text or to say a kind word to?
Yeah.
Who's somebody that you could walk up to right now and just give a compliment to, like, hey, I'm really grateful I work with you.
Yeah.
Or the other day you did this and it really made me smile, and I appreciate you for that.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Ryan and Dirk Lunch Podcast. Hey, today we want to make a few announcements and just let you know about some changes that we've made online on our social media platforms. So on LinkedIn and on Facebook, you'll see that I've switched my platform to a digital creator platform. And with that, they want us to know, like, what content do we talk about? So one, I want to tell you what content we're going to be talking about, but also when this video gets uploaded, it'll also help our search engine optimization. So obviously, the content we're talking about is real estate lending, real estate marketing, business entrepreneurship, and mindset. So, Dirk sent an article my way from Stephen Covey, and it's on mindset and how we treat people. So, that's what we want to talk about today. And we've got just a couple questions to pose to you that we'd like to talk about today. So I'll kick it over to you.
Yeah, so I just thought this was really powerful. And if this is boring to you guys can go to the next podcast. But I just think it's really powerful. And it was a story, and it's from the book, let's see, from the book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And it talks about that the author was on a train, and it says, I'm just going to read it for you guys. It said, while on the train, there were 2 very noisy kids causing disturbance to everyone around them. Covey noticed that the father was doing nothing about it. After a period of strain, he approached the father. And then here's the author's account of the situation. He said, sir, your children are really disturbing a lot of people. I wonder if you couldn't control them a little more. And it says, the man lifted his gaze and said softly, oh, you're right. I guess I should do something about it. We just came from the hospital where their mother died about an hour ago. I don't know what to think. And I guess they don't know how to handle it either. And so it goes on to say that you have no idea what the people in your world are currently dealing with. It's important to live more compassionately. If you treat every person you meet like they're dealing with a serious challenge, you'll be right more than half the time. Mm-hmm. And so, we've talked about, yes, leadership mindset, but this is also just a podcast about life. And I know that I've gone through stuff this year that not everybody needs to know about. But I've had to put on a brave face, and it's put things in perspective for me of how many other people are going through things that we're not aware of. How many other people are dealing with serious, hard issues that they don't know what to do. They're barely hanging on by a thread. I shared a story of a coworker that's going through some really difficult things. And the other day she was crying in our office because of some very, very, very difficult life situations that she's going through. She's not getting any sleep because of it. And it's hurt her in a lot of ways. And then for, a deal to be, within hours of not closing, and then, a realtor then essentially yelling at her because they're not sure and being stressed, and they didn't know. I don't blame them, but what if that person approached it with the mindset that I feel like I need to get better at approaching things, and just said, maybe this person's going through something. We're in Founders right now.
Yeah.
And what if the waiter that just walked by, what if he's dealing with something? What if he needs Jesus in his life? What if he needs some love because he just got in a huge fight with his girlfriend and they don't know if they're going to make it? Or what if his brother just died? Or I don't know what's going on. So we want to turn to you guys and just ask you today, who's around you? What's one nice thing that you can say to somebody today? I want to share one more thing before I turn it back over to you.
Yeah, you bet.
Because this is something that impacted me. There is somebody I played soccer with for a lot of years, and she's an incredible soccer player. That's besides the point. She now helps in our office of cleans a couple times a week. Once every other week. She came in the other day, and her father passed away a year ago. A year ago yesterday. So she posted something about him and she just shared her heart of how she missed us, and she shared their last text and how it was just essentially she was having car issues and how he was willing to always help out with that, and how he had offered to she had stopped by his house the night before, and he offered to make her a meal, but she was tired. She was just on her way home, and she's like, what I would do now to go back and spend the extra 20, 30 minutes with my dad if he made me a meal. Yep. But instead I was so busy. And it shook me, and it made me in that moment, I felt like God put it on my heart to just text my dad and say, hey, I love you.
Yep, absolutely. Those are the best times. Yeah.
First story impacted me in that way. So I share all of that to put things in perspective, because who do you feel like maybe God's putting on your heart right now as I share this, to text or to say a kind word to?
Yeah.
Who's somebody that you could walk up to right now and just give a compliment to, like, hey, I'm really grateful I worked with you. Yeah. Or the other day you did this and it really made me smile, and I appreciate you for that.
Yeah, that makes me think of two things. Obviously, most of our listeners know that I'm a father, right? And I might have started talking to you about this as we got to the table today, but similar story context. I'm married. Brittany and I have a 4-year-old and a 6-month-old. Garrett's going through a transition right now. Same context here. He's not the dad with a dead spouse, right? But Garrett's going through transitions in his body, in his mind right now, that I need to relate to, right? So Garrett's been waking up at 5 a.m. and 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Why?
Yes.
Garrett, why? When you listen to this when you're 20-something, please help me know why. But what I've decided, and this isn't in regardless of what Brittany thinks or wants me to do, I love Garrett. Brittany doesn't want to be up at 5 a.m. and 6 a.m. and 7 a.m. Nor do I. If I'm putting myself into Garrett's shoes, what does he really need right now? Can we give him the hard love and let him cry it out and stay in his bedroom until it's actually time to wake up? Yes, we can. I've taken the approach that I don't care if I'm in my own bed. Yeah. His bed it's a double-decker bed.
Yeah.
There's a mattress on top and one you can pull out from the bottom.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Before my hunting trip, 2 nights, like 6 a.m., I just hopped in bed with him and I slept with him for another hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah.
Brittany didn't want me to do that anymore. I said, you know what, Britt, you want more sleep? I don't really care if I sleep in there. And there's nothing in this world, other than when Brittany looks at me really happy. There's nothing in this world than when Ariana and Garrett look at me in just pure love and know that I'm giving them the security that they want and need.
Yes.
And I don't care if I'm sleeping in my own bed. So if you're a father, if you're a mother looking at this, try to understand, and I'm not perfect. I'm a 4-year-old father. So it's like, do I have all the answers? No. Do I have a lot of conversations with my parents? Do you have a lot of conversations? I do, because I'm learning, golly, this, Dad, you were probably dealing with this at one time, right?
Yes.
So for me, I'm excited to go in there at 5 a.m. right now, 6 a.m. right now, because one, I like to know that I'm useful in that capacity to him.
Yeah.
And when I hold his hand and I give him a hug and I say, hey, do you want Daddy to sleep on the floor right here? And he says yes.
Yeah.
And the world becomes at peace for him. Why do I need to be a hard father to tell him, toughen up, 4-year-old, go back to bed?
Yeah.
I don't want to be that way.
Yeah.
So, because I think if he knows that I'm there for these moments, and I love being there for these moments, so here's a prayer that I ask for quite often. I pray to God and I say, God, please allow me to remember this moment. Like we had memories, right?
Yeah.
It's like I can still remember being on my preschool playground getting chased by kids.
Yeah.
Why do I have that memory? I don't know.
Yep.
I can remember different milestones in my life. But when I'm staring at my son and in his eyes as he's trying to fall back to sleep, and I say, Garrett, close your eyes. And he goes,
Yes.
I don't want to forget that.
Yes.
And I wouldn't have that moment
Yes.
without being present. So I tie that back to say, we don't know where everyone's at. I don't know exactly why Garrett's where he's at right now because he can't express that to me, or at least not fully, right?
Yeah.
He says he's scared. You know, it might be nighttime. I don't know what it is. But if you're not getting the response that you wanted out of someone, this goes more towards, it's beyond the golden rule, right?
Yeah.
This is, and not everyone likes the platinum rule. Treat people as they want to be treated, right? That's hard.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to treat Garrett the way he wants to be treated by also being a loving father, providing security, providing a household, providing direction
Yeah.
and love. But then I also need to see, how does that balance with my relationship with my wife?
Yeah.
And these are good conversations.
Yeah.
And those are conversations you can be having with people in your life too.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's easy for us to zoom in. I mean, you did it earlier with the conversation with things that we were talking about. We'll zoom out.
Yeah.
Look at the bigger picture. What about long term? What about your lifetime, right? And I think so often I'm so focused on, God, why is this happening in my life right now? This sucks. Or why is this, what's going on? Well, they put pickles next to my sandwich. Like, I don't need,
They didn't even ask me if I
they didn't
wanted
even
a
ask
pickle.
me that,
They assumed I wanted a pickle.
But it's like if I zoom out,
The menu said it was on there, but
if I zoom out and I look at the bigger picture, and I think, what if it's kind of morbid to think this way, but it's also really freeing and really healthy, I think. What if I were to die next week? What if I were to die tomorrow?
yeah.
This is the conversation I want to have with the people I love, the people at my workplace. Is this how I'd want to be remembered? I think I've said it in the podcast, but one of the questions I love, and I wish there was a cool way I could put it in a tattoo. I don't even have a tattoo. So I'm like, I would love this. Like, this is like a life.
Permanently let me remember that.
Please, would you rather live your life to build your resume or your eulogy? Do you want a bigger bank account, bigger accolades for your business? Or do you want more people at your funeral saying, he was really loving and he really reflected some of what I believe Jesus to be? Those two don't always coincide. And so those are deep questions that we need to ask ourselves and that we ask you today. So we'll wrap this up.
Yeah.
We appreciate you guys. It's another shorter podcast. But again,
This is good content, though. This is versus our long ones where you'll probably see a different format, not to just directly interrupt you either, but different format today. We didn't eat in front of you. So let us know your feedback on that, too.
Yeah.
We both feel really refreshed having eaten before talking with you.
yes.
But yeah, question is back to you. How can you be more present in those relationships, even with people that, we can control our thoughts.
yes.
We don't have to act a certain way
Right.
or assume. So look for those opportunities.
Yeah. Make an impact in somebody's life today.
Yeah.
Text somebody. Text your dad. I love you. It's just like
Yeah.
I was impacted by that person's story. I hope that story impacts you too.
It'd be like Ryan and Dirk in Match.
We definitely plan.
Unknowingly.
We appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
If you know of anybody looking to buy or sell, please keep us in mind. Have an amazing day. We wish you guys the best. We'll talk soon.